Cobb TV. Watch your life make sense.
When one looks into the human heart, we can see it is a collection of desires. From the basic necessities to the more complex social desires of wealth, honor, and knowledge. But there appears a point within every human heart that yearns for something different. It desires to know only one thing. What is the meaning of my life? Welcome to The Point.
Where did you think you were? What did you think this was as a child? What is this place? Yeah. And what is life about? Did you understand it? Were you looking for something?
As a child, I remember vividly when I fell in love with music. Mm-hmm. I just lost my mind. And I remember there was a particular radio program in Israel that played foreign stuff from the United States, and there was some Count Basie tune in 5, I think. And it was later than my bedtime, and my parents kept me up because I remembered that, and I made them,
So you had a very happy childhood? What did it feel like to be there?
I just felt as a fish out of water. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I remember the books that I liked the most is the Tarzan series, the authentic books. And I kept reading them because I loved the fact that here was a human being that seemed like he was completely one with nature. He was a human being, but yet he was one with nature. He mastered animals, he mastered the jungle, and he was the absolute expression of, living in harmony with nature. To me, that was incredible. So I wanted to become like that. I felt like that's a worthy goal. And I remember a friend in the neighborhood, and we both went into that, and we used to go at nights to some deserted river also in the neighborhood. We connected to books like Tom Sawyer, and that whole connection to nature fascinated me. So that, I feel like, started like something in me, that some sort of a surge.
What piece was missing that you wanted to do something with that connection with nature? How did that spur you on?
I think it had to do with the mastery, some form of mastering myself as a human being in relation to nature. Mm-hmm. That was really the feeling. And it expressed itself in that way, because when you look at animals, they're fantastically synchronized. And I felt like I wanted to be like that. I felt like human being built all this environment that was artificial, and they compromised parts of themselves, and they were not connected to the earth, and were not connected to the waters, they were not...
So you were kind of a rebel. You didn't like the world that you saw?
No, I did not. It's almost like it's not enough to just do the things that you have to do to grow and function as an adult, which is education, and I felt like there's got to be something else that will help me live this life better. The next big step in my life after high school was being out in the world as an adult. Things went really well, and I formed a group that became successful. We had a steady spot in a nightclub in Tel Aviv. It was always packed, and so I was swept into this, life. That was the second phase, of feeling really good and fulfilled and doing things. So that took over everything, and then I became a keyboard player of probably one of the top performing artists in Israel, as a singer-songwriter, and that's it. At that point,
So you're trying to fulfill some other kind of pleasure.
Yes.
This sort of fell by the wayside, all of this. Nature, beauty, life mastery.
Yeah.
And so success, did that help you? Did you feel fulfilled by that? Or did you wake up?
No. I can make all the plans I want, but bam, something happens and it leaves you wondering, well, what am I going to do next? I think the only question I really had is, what am I going to do next?
What did you do next?
I remember the real crisis in the relationship started when we had kids. We were not in agreement almost on anything. anything. It's like, it seems like everything that I initiated was a no. You know, that's not how we're going to do it. So that was a crisis. It was a huge crisis. And yet at the same time, I did not want to not have a family to raise the kids, 3 kids, little kids, which we were both very devoted to. We spent a lot of time with, a lot of time, you know, being involved with educating them even, you know, homeschooling for a while, music, everything. Like 2 years before she left me, something got reignited. We're talking about 95, 96. All of a sudden, it's like, again, books on meditation, books on this, and it was one after another. I mean, we're not talking 1 book or 2 books. Every self-help book you can think of. And that deepened the crisis between the 2 of us. Because she thought I went off the deep end. It scared her.
Did you find something?
I thought for a while meditation is going to do it, and that, you know, maybe that would be my gateway into a realm beyond the material.
Was it?
No.
Next?
Next. Next, I almost like gave up hope. It's like, okay, what is it all for then? You know, what's going on here? And then I remember clearly there was one summer in 2004. The kids were away. I was alone. I wasn't going to kill myself, but it almost felt like, I mean, what for? Why am I going through this? You know? So it was connected to the circumstances, but it wasn't just the circumstances. Because, I mean, if you go and tell people, so your kids went, so your band, I mean, are you crazy? Why are you so depressed, you know?
And did you give up at that point?
No, I didn't give up. I kept looking online, and I think I found the site of Nebaruk. I found absolutely comprehensive, painfully objective, almost, description of Kabbalah that was not trying to dissuade you or make you feel like you're going to become a miraculous human being with miraculous abilities or anything like that. It was just about the wisdom and about the spirituality itself. It stripped me of illusions. That if I do this, I will gain that. Or if I do this kind of system, or this kind of meditation, or this kind of spell, or this kind of scanning, or this kind of red string, or whatever it is that you do, doesn't matter what it is. I realized none of it. It stripped me of that. So in a way, it was like I said, that's why I say painfully honest. But I knew that, okay, the period of trying to find some sort of a magic or a system is over. What began is a journey into a side of myself that I felt was there, and that if I did not reveal, then everything sucks and that there's no purpose to life. The purpose of my life is to basically connect with that part of myself that is unknown to me yet, that I cannot sense yet, but has everything to do with who I am, why things are the way they are in my life, and beyond the sweet and the bitter is the truthful thing, is the lasting thing, is all-encompassing thing, it's connected to everything, to everyone. I mean, it becomes clear that there is something there, and that you have to completely change your thinking in order to capture it, in order for it to capture you, however you want to say that, but that it's there. And that's been the revolution, that's been the switch, and it demystified everything else. It's like, boom.
Thank you for sharing this story with us. You know, wouldn't it be wonderful if rather than people running through this randomness of their life could already sense a purpose, if we had that kind of connection with each other, where we weren't running like crazy little robots, mechanical, we just bump into each other. But what kind of a society